Hey, everybody, welcome to one of our special editions of the Chad Prather Show. We call this a Chad Prather Show short. I just made that up. This is another segment of things that Party Foul Steve doesn't know.
There's a lot of things that I don't know.
We know that, and that's why it's really kind of hard to come up with a topic. Like, I try to come up with things that you should know, ought to know, most people do know, and then which makes it much more fascinating. Like, that's why I will never let you pick the topic. I'm going to pick the topic, but I love it because the people who are watching, they get frustrated because they start shouting at their screen the answers. So today we're going to talk about a certain topic. In fact, I'm going to ask you the question, see if you can guess the topic. Please tell me what aggressive act on the part of a Far Eastern country led the U.S. into World War II?
Germany.
No.
Russia?
What aggressive act by a Far East country?
East.
Yep.
By Far East. Where's Far
By
East?
a Pacific island.
Oh, yeah. They dropped a bomb on Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor. Do you remember
Japan, right?
Japan. Do you remember the date of Pearl Harbor?
1942?
Nope.
No. I don't remember.
41. Do you know the date?
The day. No.
All right. It was a Sunday. It was December 7th.
Okay. Franklin
Delano Roosevelt declared war on Japan the next day in front of Congress. Do you remember what he called December 7th, 1941?
No, I don't. Why would I remember that? I wasn't even there.
That will live
forever
in infamy.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't there. See, that's the thing of history. None of us were there. That's why it's important that we know these things.
You don't know if it's true or not.
Yes, we actually do.
But the winners get to write history.
There's actually a video and an audio of him doing it.
Okay.
So we know he did it. All right. Do you know how many battleships were damaged or sunk in the attack of Pearl Harbor?
2.
No.
10?
Closer.
Okay, 12.
Lesser.
9.
8.
8. Okay.
Exactly. Do you remember?
Here we are. Do I remember?
Let's try to name the battleships.
Maybe you should go back to my history teachers in school.
No, let me ask you this question. This one you should know. Do you know where Pearl Harbor is?
It's Hawaii.
Do you know where in Hawaii?
Pearl Harbor.
Do you know what Pearl Harbor is?
It's a harbor. On the Big Island?
But what city is Pearl Harbor located in?
I have no idea. Honolulu.
Honolulu. There it is. There it is.
Thanks for the help.
Honolulu. I mean, yeah. So, do you know? Have you ever been there? You've never been there.
Never been to Hawaii.
Okay. So, could you? Have you heard any of the names of the battleships? The 8 battleships that were sunk.
They were USS something.
Something.
9 of them. USS.
Okay, let me help you. Let me get you started. Okay, there was the Maryland.
Okay.
There was the Tennessee. There was the West Virginia. There was the Pennsylvania. There was the Oklahoma. There was the Nevada. There was the California. And the 8th one is very famous. It was the USS
Texas?
Arizona.
Oh, okay.
Arizona.
Why is that one so famous?
Well, because you can go there to the memorial right now and stand over top of it.
Oh, it's the one under the water?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
You think?
I'm reasonably sure.
How did you remember all of those?
Because I am an educated man with a great memory. These are things you got to learn.
Right.
So let me explain to you how you remember stuff like that. You see them as they sit on the states. So the Far Eastern one would be Maryland.
Okay. But
Then
that's not going to...
Right next to it be West Virginia. And then you see Tennessee. And then you go up to Pennsylvania. Then you go to Oklahoma. Then you come down to Nevada, Arizona, out to California.
So all of them were named after states?
Oh, well, except for yes, they are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But anyway, so I want you to go study up on Pearl Harbor, okay? It was a pivotal point. I won't even get into the Indochina stuff that went on and when aggressions began in 1931 or 1937 or 1940 that escalated the Japanese to want to attack. But now, let me remind you, Pearl Harbor was a preventative measure on the part of the Japanese. Preventative, because they were afraid America was going to attack them at any time. So they said, well, let's go ahead and disable the Pacific Fleet, which is exactly what Pearl Harbor did. At the time, we were ranked about 6th in the world in terms of military might, and our Navy was virtually non-existent until after that.
and they learned a valuable lesson.
That's right. And
right after that,
whenever everyone joined the draft or whenever everyone enlisted and went off to war, women went into the factories to help build these war materials like ships and tanks. And do you remember the nickname that they gave these women?
I can see her.
Yeah. Rosie the Riveter. And that's been another segment of Things Party Foul Steve Doesn't Know. We love you. God bless.